Oh my God, I wasn't even, clearly, I wasn't ready. There's a little cough drop in my mouth. It doesn't matter. This is why I love live video. Welcome to WDW Radio Live. I'm your host. I am your friend, Lou Mongello. Thank you so much for being here. If you are watching live, please do me a favor. Tell me where you're watching from. Tag and invite a friend, and then sit back, relax, grab a snack as we chat about New York Comic Con, any of your questions. And of course, if you're watching on the replay, don't forget to join us here every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I got to get this cough drop out of my mouth. 7:30 p.m. Eastern at www.radiolive.com. My apologies for last week's very abbreviated show from the chilly streets of New York City. I was there covering and enjoying and really eating my way through New York Comic Con. It is my second year back. Somebody says my audio is odd. Somebody says my audio is my... It does sound like I have an echo. I have no idea why. All right, hold on a second. Let's do this. Let's see, Mongello. Not sure the big mic is working. It should be this or worse. Better or worse. The audio is not normal. The audio is, let's see. Hello? Hello? Oh, it's very echoey. Good Lord. You know, again, this is the beauty of live video. Let's try this. Let's try this here. Well, we could always just do this. You know what? Oh, wait. Now, is that working? Is that better? Or worse? Sing some Sinatra. I don't know why this is doing this. Kevin Shea. Wow, it's what? Wow, this is odd. Let's try it this way. Let's just go old school and see if that does it. And do I? Hello. Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna go OG and just use the MacBook mic, and I'll figure out what's going on with all that over there. Again, it is why I love live video, and it's part of what makes live video interesting. So sorry about that. That's what happens. It doesn't matter. But you don't want to hear me on echo because it just makes it worse. So anyway, yeah. So I was just talking about New York. This is my second year going. Not I'm going to cover, but I go as a fan. Like, I love going to cons. As my son has gotten older, it makes me sad that my kids are older. But you know, if you're a parent, you know your relationship starts to change. I get to do these things now with my son. We went last year, went back again this year, and just had a blast. You saw that I was there on Wednesday. Got in early for a little bit of pre-conning, which means I just needed to sort of do the things that I missed in the city, which was even before I got to the hotel, I stopped and I got to get a dirty water hot dog, and went to the New Yorker Hotel, which I loved. It's sort of vintage New York, like 1927, 1929. I had no idea that Nikola Tesla lived there for like 10 years, which I thought was amazing. And I think he died there too. And then did like some of the other things, like went to FAO Schwartz, and I always have to go to St. Patrick's Cathedral. Mass was going on, which was pretty amazing. The Lego store, and I'm a huge fan of Nobu. And I went to Nobu 57, which I had never been to before. I had been to the one in the Village, never been in Nobu 57. And if you are a Japanese food fan, there is the black cod. Your brain flames in the side of my face, and I took my son for his very first time, and you'll never forget the first time you try black cod at Nobu. Emily says the Nobu looked incredible. It looked incredible, Emily, because it was incredible. It was absolutely insane. And if you want to treat yourself, and it's a treat, if you want to treat yourself, and this is not sponsored or endorsed by Nobu, But if you want to treat yourself to an amazing meal, Nobu is it. Wait, before I forget, I sort of rolled right into New York. I want to just quick acknowledgement of the passing of Angela Lansbury, Mrs. Potts, Murder She Wrote. It's never a good time, and it's never, even as some of these people that we grew up with, and stars and celebrities, get advanced in age. It's always sad. So in honor of Angela Lansbury, go out and watch Beauty and the Beast, the original, again, in her memory. So, or go to Nobu in her memory. You can do that too. I'm sure Ms. Lansbury, Dame Angela, whatever her, I'm sure she probably would have loved Nobu as well. So, while we're talking about the city, let's go back to the city. Have you ever been to New York City, as just and done the touristy things, and we even walked by Rockefeller Center. We went to the Lego store. We went to my son's a big Nintendo fan, so we went to the Nintendo store, walked around for a while, and New York Comic Con is, I don't know if you've ever been to cons before. If you've ever been to New York Comic Con or San Diego or even some of your local nerd conventions, let me know in the comments which one you have been to. Here in Orlando, we have something called MegaCon, which has been here, I think, about 7 or so years, really starting to become a very big, very, very, very well attended convention. But New York is sort of like that perfect size. It's not as crazy, from what I understand, as San Diego is, but the show floor is equally as big, and there's some great panels, and I'll talk to you a little bit about the panels. But for me, and I know for my son, the thing that we love the most, or part of the reason why we love going to the cons, is really for the show floor. We love getting on the show floor, seeing other fans, seeing what the different booths have to offer, the cosplayers. Not everything is right up our alley, very, very heavy in terms of anime, especially this year. The only anime I remember as a kid was Speed Racer, and ones that I didn't even realize were anime. Erica says, so Eric, I remember seeing your picture that you went to New York Comic Con and you met Tom Hiddleston, wanted to go this year, meet Sebastian Stan. I don't normally do the photo and autograph ops. It's just not my thing, but there was a lot of really cool people there this year, and some really, really good panels as well. Jessica says the Wanda cosplay that I posted was amazing. She was remarkably good, and having that Darkhold book and being able to, with the lights and maneuver the pages, was really, really interesting to see. There's some very, very smart, very talented, very, very creative people as well. Kate says I should go to San Diego to work. That the crowds are similar to that of crowded Disney days. If you go during the week late at night to do things, it's not as bad. Yeah, I hear it's just absolutely insane. If you want to get to panels, line up now. Becky Menken, I loved Speed Racer. Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels. He had his little chip next to him and the cool Mach 5 with the big M on it, which I loved because my last name begins with M. Yeah, I watched a lot of that stuff when I was a kid. So I literally almost started singing the Speed Racer song, and you don't want to see it. Emily, I did see the levitating Doctor Strange. I think I posted him on my Instagram or my Instagram stories using the I won't spoil the magic. He was levitating. He can't sort of walk around much, and I can't imagine when he's got to go potty how difficult that is, but there were a lot of really, really impressive. I mean, they're probably gone now, but I shared a lot on my stories as well. I will get to the Back to the Future panel as well, but I wanted to just quickly do a recap. And I don't often do recaps of events because you're like, well, wait a minute, Lou, I wasn't there. What does the recap do? But I wanted to talk about it for a few reasons. One of which is, if you are a fan of pop, you don't have to be a comic book fan per se. And it is very comic heavy. And I was happy to see it this year because some of these cons are, they're called Comic Cons, but there's not really a lot of comics. It's a lot of manga, it's a lot of anime, it's a lot of pop culture, but it's still very comic centric here, and I always hope that the Disney Plus shows and the Marvel Cinematic Universe get fans of the films and what they see on screen, and will hopefully lead them to the picking up a physical comic book. And Marvel Unlimited is great if you want to read them on your phones. But like, I literally came back with comic books. I mean, granted, I'm never going to have time to read them, but being able to pick up like physical comics again, especially if you have young kids, getting them to watch some of the stuff on Plus, whether it's the series or the movies, is a great way to introduce them to, you can do some of the new runs of comics that'll reintroduce you to some of the heroes and the villains. I bought this for my son. It was a special, like, limited edition Spider-Ham Into the Spider-Verse. I picked up, obviously, a bunch of Daredevils, and I'm not going to spoil She-Hulk, but this week's She-Hulk is the best of the She-Hulks by far, not even close. But what I liked this year was something that was different than last year. Now, mind you, last year we were coming out of COVID, and New York was very much not out of COVID yet. So a lot of the major players didn't even have a presence there. Excuse me. And it was obvious, not just because they physically weren't there, but literally there were physically empty spaces on a relatively empty show floor. Marvel wasn't there, DC wasn't there, Funko wasn't there, and Funko has a massive presence, like 1/5 of one of the main rooms in the Jacob Javits Center. This year, though, Marvel was back, had a huge booth, really, really well done, with a stage, artists, photo ops, costumes. The Hasbro Pulse team was there, showing a new Ghost Rider. Gosh, I forgot what they call it when they're trying to fund one of the new designs. They had VV collectibles, like NFT, digital collectibles. So really, really great presence there. Brian Crosby, who's been on the show before, was there. Had a lot of fun watching him draw and getting to hang out with him as well. But Disney Parks had a presence on the show floor. And forgive me that I didn't have time to prepare some graphics and overlays, but if you watched my stories, and I think I shared it on my Instagram post, they had something this year called the Wonders of Xandar Pavilion, and it was a physical presence on the show floor where the idea was that Xandarians have come to New York City to learn more about Terra and its culture and its customs, and you were able to go there and meet Xandarian ambassadors, learn more about their galaxy, and they built in this cool sort of display that was interactive, right? So behind the ambassador's desk, and there was 3 or 4 ambassadors walking around from Xandar, they had a display of items that they had collected over the years. And there were some cool little Easter eggs in there. Like there was the Guardians of the Galaxy cassette tape. There was an Epcot map from 1982. There was just like cool little stuff from the past, 4 decades here on Earth. Some cool Disney stuff, some Marvel stuff, just some cool pop culture stuff. But you could get online, and actually we were the first ones online. My friend Jeremiah from Laughing Place, who we hung out with most of the weekend, he was first in line, and my son and I were second and third in line, and you could go and you could bring a Terran artifact. It could be anything. And that artifact could be a physical item, or it could be a piece of knowledge that you could go up to the table and exchange with them for something that they have in their collection. So I think Jeremiah brought like a matchbook or something. I brought, he brought something that I had brought a face covering. I brought a mask, but they made everybody wear masks. So they had one already. So fortunately in my backpack, I had what I described as the last piece of chewing gum on Terra because there was only one piece of chewing gum left in my backpack. And we had this like fun, dynamic conversation where I was describing what gum was, why it was the last piece, and had this great, probably 5 minute long exchange, like totally in character, totally just having fun. And she was sitting there taking notes, like about what all these things were and Terran customs, like totally buying into. And all of the cast members who were there were phenomenal. There was also ambassadors who were there all weekend long. There were Imagineers who were there too. Alex Wright was there for one or two of the days. So you couldn't actually, they weren't giving away things that were on the shelves behind them. But what they did do is they let you scan a QR code. Now, the internet on Terra in New York City, in the Javits Center specifically, is remarkably awful. Like, you couldn't post anything. There was no way I was going to go live, let alone even could get posts up. So you'd scan a QR code, which would take you to this interactive experience. But because it didn't work, I was able to get one of these. And they let me keep it. And this was I don't know if you'll be able to scan the code. Well, you know what? Hey, why not? Try scanning the code. This is this cool, like lenticular, I'm not sure if you can tell, like this cool, shiny thing written in a Xandarian language. And if you scan it, it takes you to this really neat AR experience. I'm assuming it's still going to work. Let's see. Let's do it like on the fly and find out. Oh, no, maybe it's not. Maybe it's gone already. But there was this cool AR experience that you would hold up and it would pull up like a jump point portal on your phone with all the sort of cool stuff, and it would jump you to the queue of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And you would use your phone and sort of look around, and there'd be all these little interactive touch points that would play videos and had some of this interactive stuff that made you feel like you were in the queue of Cosmic Rewind. And then while you're doing that, you were also able to go, they gave you something else that allowed you to go around the corner of the booth, and there was the Xandarian crew members' break room. So you knock on the door, and there was a crew member in there on break, and I posted pictures. It looks like an office break room. He was sitting there like having his Xandarian coffee or latte or whatever they drink on Xandar, reading a comic book. Everything was written in Xandarian. All the posters and the things on the bulletin board, and there was a vending machine, and it was it's not like the old like cigarette vending machine. It was a digital vending machine that if you held up the QR, the code that they gave you, it allowed you. Excuse me, I'm fighting something. It allowed you to select an item from the vending machine, and out of the vending machine, I got one of the first two Zargnuts ever on Terra. And of course, I'm not a crazy person. I did not open them. I know people that did. Supposedly they're delicious. These two, let me see. I don't think I actually scanned this QR code. Let's try this one. Oh, wait a minute. I take that back. This does take you to the experience. So you can launch the jump point sequence or view with the translation aid, so you can translate all this kind of stuff. You're not going to be able to really see this very well, but it's locating the Galaxarium, and I have to be really careful about what I'm showing here. You can click. Oh, I should probably put my phone. So I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's this cool AR exhibit inside of, and it directs you to certain.
Welcome, Terrans. I am WorldMind, sentient supercomputer of Xandar.
You
Here
can't
at
see
the
it,
Wonders
but
of Xandar Pavilion in
So I'll hold it up. Let's see if you can actually scan it. Wait, let's see if I can get it to focus. I think if you just go to wondersofxandar.com, it'll probably take you to the same location. But so yeah, so I really liked the idea of not just getting the Zargnuts, but it's this type of interactive, individual, and personalized experience that I not only love and expect to see maybe something like this coming to Epcot in the future, but seeing other elements of this in other locations, right? Making attractions more experiential, more personalized, more individual with these sort of add-on things. It didn't cost anything. There was no ticket required. You could spend as much time as you wanted to, sort of within reason, talking to the Xandarians. Really, really, really smart. I don't, and there was no selling going on, right? This was not, there was nobody there telling you to book your trip to Epcot. There was nobody there telling you about the next 30% offer or to book your trip with Mouse Fan Travel, which obviously you should do. If you want to go to Xandar, it was a no-sell. There was no offer, right? There was nothing you could buy even if you wanted to, which is really what I liked, right? So it piqued your interest. It got your curiosity, sort of piqued your interest, piqued your curiosity, got you to do something interactive, gave you a cool takeaway, and I'm sure there's no way to sort of measure the ROI of that for Disney, but I think it's a really interesting venture into creating experiential type exhibits, either in the parks or maybe outside the parks, doing things like this elsewhere. That being said, I would not be surprised. Actually, I would probably bet dollars to Zargnuts that you will see these Zargnuts for sale in Walt Disney World very, very, very soon. I cannot imagine that they created all of these with all the text and with everything going on. And I just noticed it says Walt Disney World 50 on the back. So I don't think it's a huge, I know nothing, but I'm guessing that you will at some point be able to get or maybe even win Zargnuts in there. What if they had the nut in Avengers Campus? So Joshua, I don't know if they do, but I absolutely expect to see those in the parks somewhere. Amy Crocodile says, I can see something like Toy Story Land being interactive like that. Amy, I think that's a great location for it. Things like Galaxy's Edge make perfect sense. We're already starting to see that with the interactive games that you can play with your Magic Band, with the Play Disney Parks app, with the overlay. I think this is the future of what we're going to see. I can't find a page. I think if you go to Wonders of Xandar with an X, if you go to wondersofxandar.com, yeah, you know what? I'll actually link to this in the clubhouse. There's a longer URL that will let you get to this type of interactive experience for however long it comes up. You do need to access it, by the way. You do need to access it via your mobile device. I don't believe you can do it using your desktop. Amy, yeah, Pandora and Animal Kingdom is a great place for it, especially with the new movie coming out. So we'll see if that's what comes next. Excuse me, sorry. But in addition to that, for the first time, and again, I think a very smart way for Disney to dip their toe in the water of a place like New York Comic Con, there were a couple of panels. There was Disney Publishing was there. There was a few Disney series, Disney like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur was there. The Benedict Society was there. Muppets Mayhem was there. I had to leave early, unfortunately. I wasn't unable to go to the Muppets panel, and I had an interview schedule I wasn't able to do because I had to get home. But they did have something called Suiting Up with superheroes at Disney Parks and Experiences, which talked about Avengers Campus, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Quantum Encounter aboard the Disney Wish, even some of the stuff that is overseas, and a little sort of hints in terms of what is to come. Marvel Day at Sea, moving over to the Disney Dream. Becky, if you're paying attention, we absolutely have to do it. I think I'm going to announce it right now. Like, I just decided as the words were coming out. I'm not sure if Becky is still here, but we do have to do Marvel Day at Sea on the Disney Dream. So just add it to the list, and I'll put it on the virtual whiteboard. Scott Drake, the portfolio creative executive, is there. Wyatt Winter, who is the executive producer of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Sachi Hanke, Beth Clapperton, Michael Cerna, and Dave Bushor, who's the vice president of Marvel Studios for franchise creative and marketing. And it was really interesting to hear about the synergy between all of the brands, bringing these experiences and these characters to life, right? How literally one day you will see Werewolf by Night on Disney Plus, and the next day you will see Werewolf by Night in Avengers Campus. Like, the fast turnaround, and again, it's not just Disney parks, it's parks and experiences, right? Park experiences and products. They are making these more interactive, more personal things. One of the things I love about Avengers Campus is not just the shawarma, is that you can walk around, you can see America Chavez, Moon Knight, Wanda, Zombie Cap, Iron Man, and now, Quantum Hulk, all at the same time, coexisting in the same place, and have the Dora Milaje come out and do this sort of interactive show. Like, that's what I really, really love. And they're doing this not just in the domestic parks, they're doing it overseas. Marvel Day at Sea is my favorite cruise other than Alaska, because Alaska there is a star. But in terms of non-destination based themed cruises, Marvel Day at Sea is amazing. I've done it twice on the Disney Magic. Becky, if you're still here. All right, she's not here. I'll just announce it. So we're going to do a Marvel Day at Sea on the Disney Dream, because it's that good. It's that much fun. And the bigger ship. And they also said that the stage show, which I've touted as, since I first saw it, as the best stage show Parks, Experiences, and Products does anywhere, is going to be updated. One thing I didn't mention, too, that they also talked about, Becky, I wish you were here for this, because I don't think I even told you this, is that, for example, on the Avengers Quantum Encounter on the Disney Wish, the show that takes place in the Worlds of Marvel restaurant, the show that we saw the first time we went on it is going to change and continue to be up. Like, they've already shot other scenes, because at that point, Ms. Marvel hadn't met Captain Marvel. When the Marvels come out, they will have met before. That show is going to be updated. So I loved hearing that they had the foresight to know these movies, these shows are coming out, these characters will be introduced, possibly be introduced to other villains, other heroes. They already sort of have the framework and the roadmap for how that's going to change the experience there. We certainly can expect that in the Disney parks as well. I actually had a great opportunity to sit and chat with Scott Drake after the panel. He was trying to get on a plane to go home, like, for his wife's birthday, but I was able to get about 15 minutes with him. And I didn't get a chance to get a show up this week for a variety of reasons. Is that something that you would like to hear on this week's show? Again, it's not, a full-blown hour-long show. Is that something you'd like to hear? Would like to hear that interview with, the portfolio creative executive for Marvel about how these storytelling experiences come to life in the parks? I ask you that as a two-part question, because I was able to do a second interview while I was there, and I talked about, I think I played it during one of our live shows. I think that's what it was. I interviewed Brian Volk-Weiss, who was the producer and creative executive for the toys that made us, the movies that made us, and the relevant portion behind the attraction on Disney Plus, which I've said I love, 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 love. I think it's so well done. Love the stories that are told. I love the methodology of the storytelling. He's now the executive producer and director of a new show called Icons Unearthed, and the second one that they're doing is about The Simpsons. They did one, I think, last year about Star Wars, and they're doing one about The Simpsons. And we had a chance to just sit down and chat for probably about 20 minutes or so about not just the toys and the movies that made us, but the development of this show and the storytelling and this sort of documentary style. Is that something that you'd be interested to hear? Would you like me to put these two interviews together and make those this week's show? Let me know in the comments and I'll try and put it together ASAP. This is a crazy week for me. I'm catching up from Comic-Con. I have Momentum next week, and I literally I had a speaking opportunity that came up that I could not say no to on Monday, and I'm in the midst of writing a huge, very important presentation. So I'm juggling a lot. I also came back with something. My voice has not been it's not been great for the last couple of days, which is why I didn't want to try and record a bad sounding excuse me, a bad sounding show. So I will get those up for you. Some of the things they talked about too is how M'Baku is coming to Avengers Campus, right? Some of that quick turnaround with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever coming out next month. Guardians of the Galaxy is getting a new holiday remix. It's not going to. I think there's been some misunderstanding. It is not going to be a series of 6 holiday songs. There's going to be a single holiday mix song, which we did not get a chance to hear, but I'm very curious. So I'm really looking forward to that. And the other non-Disney thing that I did that I really didn't want to miss, and it was one of the most touching is the wrong word, but the Back to the Future panel with Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox, hosted by DJ Elliott, by the way, who's amazing, and I love that guy, did a phenomenal job. We all know of Michael J. Fox and his battle with Parkinson's, and more importantly, the good work that he's raised, I think, $1.5 billion, like with a B, for Parkinson's research and making real changes and strides, and there's nothing more important than that. Michael J. Fox may very well be the most likable person on the planet. Like, period. No qualifications. If you didn't love the guy before, hearing him talk and joke, and he's very, very funny, and he's very witty, and very, very sharp. He is the nicest human being on the planet. I was so incredibly impressed with him. It was fun, and it was funny and emotional, and you cannot help but love the guy. Sue Passero says he's one of my favorite actors ever. So if somebody taped the panel with Christopher Lloyd, Michael J. Fox, I don't know if it's out there. I don't know if they were allowed to. They probably weren't, but I'm sure somebody did. Try and watch it. It's I don't normally say to go back and watch panel. It's that good. It is that good. If you think that you love Michael J. Fox now, wait until you see it. He was so endearing, and just such a likable, kind, warm, wonderful human being. Like I said, who's actually very, very sharp and very, very funny. Yeah. So Beach has an autographed photo from his old Family Ties days. Lewis says it's on YouTube. Tonight, when the show's over, which is going to be very, very soon because my voice is starting to give out, please make sure you go and make sure you watch it. Really, really, really well done. And again, kudos to Super. I'm so happy you said Doc Hollywood. I love Doc Hollywood. I know it is not like the biggest blockbuster movie, but there is something about. I used to watch Doc Hollywood like it's one of those movies that if it's on, it's like Rudy. Like I can't help but not watch it, and it's Michael J. Fox gives a master class in just again how to be like the most likable guy in everything that he does. So the photo shared from them together says it all. It's a part of our lives. Yeah, watching the two of them hug on stage and Michael J. Fox really sort of pushing his physical limits to get up and hug him, and the accolades that he gives to him and the rest of the cast and crew and the stories that he told was just phenomenal. So someone recently posted in the group that I think that they compared Doc Hollywood to Cars. It without a doubt, it is. It's the fish out of water, that finds love in a little town story, which I think is why we still love them both. And he still looks young. He was sharper. He was sharper than Chris. I remember Christopher Lloyd couldn't remember his character's name on Taxi, and Michael J. Fox, made a joke about how he should be the one forgetting, but really just a lot of love in that room, not just between the two of them, but between the fans and them. Considering Cars has its plot, it's prompted your love for cozy cones. Listen, I would love. It didn't have to be even themed after Cars. I would love those cozy cones just because of how good they are and how much I miss them. And I was convinced, and again, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it already, I kept telling my son, I'm like, if Daredevil shows up on Avengers Campus, I am booking a flight from New York City to Anaheim just so I can see Daredevil in the parks. I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you haven't seen She-Hulk this week, I know some people love She-Hulk. Some people are like, it's kind of meh. Last week's episode delivers in a huge way. And if you are like me, dang it, if you are a Daredevil fan, it's worth the price of admission right there, because it is so good. Definitely a must watch. So, all right, I'm gonna do a short show tonight. I'm feeling my throat starting to give way, and I've got a presentation to write. Couple of quick reminders for you. Don't forget, speaking of cruises, we still have some room available on our December 5th Very Merry Time cruise on the Disney Wish. You can go to www.com/Disney Wish 2022 or reach out to your Mouse fan travel agent. I see Sue Passauer and Beatrice Dennis are in the room, and they can help you out. If you can't make it then, please join us on our April 15th 8-night cruise on the Disney Fantasy. Again, you can find out about those or any Disney or other destination by going to our friends over at mousefantravel.com. I haven't updated the graphic yet, but if you go over to our spoiler support group, you can talk all things She-Hulk, Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Andor. If you are still watching Andor, you can go and chat about it there as well. Please make sure, if you aren't already, come join the community and conversation and the incredible family that you have created over in the WDW Radio Clubhouse. Monstrous thanks to any and all of you who are members of the Nation family. Literally, the show could not happen without you. Your support and your friendship and your love mean so much. And if you want to help the show for as little as $1 per month and get cool exclusive rewards every single month, I'm really excited for this month. It may or may not be Halloween themed, maybe related to a certain attraction in the parks. Anyway, you can go find out more by visiting WDW. Oh my God, WDW Radio. I'm dying. Nation. I mean, I'm not really dying. I mean, we're all dying, but I'm not really dying. That is. Oh my God. Hands up, everybody. All right, that's gonna do it. I don't want to get you sick, so I'm gonna go. Thank you for being here. Sorry for the microphone issues. I love and appreciate you, and stay tuned. Again, sorry this week's show is late, but I'll get those 2 interviews up in the next few days. Until then, I will look for you in the clubhouse. On social, I am at Lou Mongello. And always remember, choose the good, be the good, be that positive light that somebody else might need in their day. I promise you that positivity is contagious. hopefully unlike what I have, whatever this may be. All right, I love you. Good night.
Magic Kingdom
45.
Magic Kingdom
45. 5.
Walt Disney Disney presents
Please stand clear of the doors. Please, por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Hi everyone, welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Express monorail. We're now embarking on a scenic journey over the highway in the sky, non-stop directly to the Magic Kingdom, directly to the Magic Kingdom, non-stop Kingdom. We're now on the final leg of our journey over the highway in the sky. Just ahead you can see the beautiful Cinderella Castle, Adventureland, Frontierland, Liberty Square, Fantasyland, Tomorrowland, and Main Street, USA. Please lower your head and watch your step. Lower your head, watch your step.